So hello everyone, I'm not sure something is wrong with my display. I'm not able to display it. So maybe we need to cancel today's live session and maybe I'm able to reschedule on 26th. So let me try to fix it one more time. Display capture. I'm going to click on OK. I want to select the display. Display 2. So mostly you're not able to see anything. Yep, mostly you're not able to see anything. Hello. So let me try to fix it one more time and let's see whether you're able to see it or not, and let me know if you're able to see my screen. Because right now video capture device, no, I don't want to share window capture. Let's try with this one. Okay, finally I got something. A Chrome. Click on OK. So mostly you are able to see the Chrome. So let me try this with resolution. So for the timing today, let's stay with this window. And let me minimize this. And let's start with a blank report. Before starting the session, I need to share some important information. So let me create a blank one. And mostly you are able to see the calendar. So yeah, so this is my calendar and we are planning for a end-to-end or complete IBM Cognos analytics session in the month of January 2019, and this one is the first training in the year 2019. So in this training we are going to cover almost everything. We are going to start with IBM Cognos analytics. We are going to learn about framework manager, how to create framework manager project, how to publish a package, and then how to use it for creating reports. So everything framework manager, data modules and reporting we are going to cover in this 15 days training session. The planned timing for each session is 2 hours each day, and this total timing is scheduled for 15 days. So starting day is 7th of January 2019 and it is going to complete on 25th of January 2019. If you want to register for this session, just let me know. This is my contact details. You can try to contact me on this number. So let me add a text item. So this is my email ID. You can try to contact me on this email ID. And let me add another text so I can share my phone number with everyone. So for Indian user, you can use direct number, but if anyone is outside from India, you can call me on this number, and this is the extension or this is the code for Indian or India numbers. Okay, so this is my mobile number. Apply and OK. And this is my email ID. You can contact me on this email ID for registration, for creating a seat for you. Drop me a mail. I'm going to share further procedure how to register for this January session, 15 days training session. And what we are going to cover in this training session, we are going to cover framework manager, data modules, and we are going to learn about reports, active reports, dashboards, and almost everything. except admin, because for this environment I don't have access for admin, so I'm not able to demonstrate the admin functionality. So let me create a duplicate tab. Now for today's session, I'm going to quickly create a simple data module, and using that data module, we are going to create a simple report. Okay, so let me start with a new page, and I'm going to click on home. Okay, thanks for confirming you are able to see my screen. Now this is the home page. When you are going to click on login on IBM Cognos Analytics, then you are able to redirect on this page. Okay, on here, or it's like your Cognos connection 10.2.1 or 10.2.2. This is the home page. Okay, on 10.2.2 or 10.2.1, you are able to see two tabs for public folder and my folder. So similarly, here we have my content and team content. So my content is personal folder and team content is the shared folder. So it is similar like my folder and public folder. So you can save your content, private content here, and if you are creating something for project, you can click on team content. Okay, now we need to create a data module. For all my data modules, I'm going to share it my content. Okay, so in my organization, I'm the single person. We don't have any multiple team members, so it is not mandatory to save anything in team content. But let's say if you have more than one team members, then definitely, or you have clients, then definitely you need to save everything inside team content or your public folder in terms of Cognos 10. So data module is new, and data module is only available in IBM Cognos Analytics. If you are familiar with IBM Cognos 10, then in IBM Cognos 10 we have framework manager, but in IBM Cognos Analytics, or in other words, you can say Cognos 11. Okay, so if I'm going to click on this, and then if I'm going to select about, so this is IBM Cognos Analytics version 11.1 R1. Okay, so in Cognos 11 we have a new functionality named as data modules. So data module is like framework manager, not exactly framework manager, but maybe in future IBM is going to replace framework manager with data module. It is not mandatory, or it is not sure they are going to replace framework manager, because right now data module is not powerful enough. If you are going to compare framework manager and data module, all the features in framework manager is not available inside data module. So yes, you can use data modules for creating your data models, and you can use it with reports. Now what is the use of data module? Data module is used for first process your data, and then you can use it with your reports. Okay, now how to create a data module? For creating a data module, you required at least a file or data source connection. For me, I'm using premium IBM Cognos Analytics, so I have option to create a data source connection. But if you are using a trial one, so let me share the URL with trial. So this is the URL for trial, and currently it is working. So most probably I'm not able to share incognito mode. So let me, I'm not going to open it. But if you are going to use this trial, then you are not able to find the option for data source connection. Okay, so if you are using trial version, you can click on your, either you can use flat files or Excel file, use your data modules, use your data modules, create your data module using your Excel or CSV files. So let me first try to upload one. I hope I did not upload it previously. So let's say I'm going to use a file with name, a cartoon characters, and if this cartoon character file is already available previously, then you are going to overwrite the existing files. So this is my cartoon character file. I selected it and I'm going to drag and drop it here. Alternative, you can click on this one, this URL, to browse the location. So this is the location, no, not this one, data, and then we have other, and I want to select this one. Okay, so it is going to upload your file, and this is the dialog box. For me, I already uploaded this previously, so that's why Cognos is asking whether we need to replace it or not. Yes, definitely I want to replace it. I don't want to append it, because right now for both files are same data. It is not incremented file. So I'm going to use replace. If you are re-uploading with new data, then you may select append. Finally, I'm going to click on OK. And right now I'm only uploading a single file, so that's why we are not able to, or we can, if we are going to click on apply to all, it is not going to be work because it is a single file. So wait for the upload. Once upload is done, then you can create a new data module. Now a quick trick or tip, if you are going to use drag and drop, so I'm not sure why I'm not able to drag and drop it right now. But if you are going to perform drag and drop option, then in the bottom you are able to see a quick menu. This quick menu is going to help you to open data module directly. So our file is uploaded successfully, or in other words, you can say your data source connection is created successfully. Okay. If you don't have these privileges and if you are in corporate environment, then you can ask your admin team to create data source connection. So for the timing, let me ignore this and let's use this cartoon characters join.xlsx file. Sorry, I don't want to edit it. I want to create a new data module. So let's see whether we have anything in this more option. Yep, we have option, third option, create data module. Okay. Select this. If you have your file in recent, you can select this more icon or action menu, and then you can select create data module. Alternative, you can click on new, and then we have option for creating a new data module. Now there is a lots of difference between 10.0.13 and 10.1. There are lots of UI changes. In previous version, when you are going to click on data module, then the UI is different. You need to search, you need to find it a different way. And for 11.1, the UI is again different. Now my file is available inside my content. So I'm going to click on cartoon character join.xlsx. So this is our cartoon character join.xlsx, and then click on OK. If you want to use data source connection, we have this option, data server and schemas. For me, I have it. I have lots of MySQL connections, so I can use it. But for this video, I'm not going to cover data source or data servers. For all the data server related session, you need to join this training session. It is going to start on 7th of January 2019. And the timing is around 10 PM till 12 in the night. So let me again open reporting and let me select my content, and then we are again going to select cartoon characters join.xls, and finally I'm going to click on OK. We successfully selected the source. Now it's time to add the tables. So this is the option, select tables, and finally click on next. So in this Excel file, we have 4 sheets. So let me try to open this Excel file, and most probably you're not able to see it. Okay, sorry. So ignore it. And let me see if anyone is commenting they are able to see Excel file or not. So mostly you're not able to see Excel file. So let me minimize the Excel. Okay, so this is the available worksheets. Okay, in Excel we have different worksheet, so we can select the different worksheet. In Cognos 11.0.13 and lower, Cognos did not support multiple worksheet. if you are going to upload your Excel file, Cognos is only able to recognize or only able to load data from the first sheet. So this is one limitation if you are using older version of Cognos 11. So I like the Cognos version 11.1. In 11.1, if you are going to upload a single Excel file, it is able to recognize all the worksheet. Now what is the work around to use Excel with multiple worksheet? You need to create multiple Excel files, each for each worksheet. Okay, so let's say you have 10 sheets, 10 worksheets, then you need to create 10 different Excel files and you need to upload it in IBM Cognos Analytics. So this is one good features in IBM Cognos Analytics 11.1 and newer. Okay, so current version is 11.1 R1. Select everything. I want to select everything and then you need to click on OK. So as a thumb rule in Framework Manager, after importing the data, we need to first define the usage type. The same thing in data module, you need to define the correct usage type for all the columns. So this is my new data module and this is the data source and this is different set of tables. Okay, and in these tables we have different columns. Row ID ignore, this is auto generated. Okay, so ID, first name, date of birth, this is creator ID and gender. So out of this column, I'm going to first open its properties. So click on this and select the properties. So as a thumb rule, after importing your tables, first define the proper usage type. Okay, so this is ID and by default it is identifier. But this CID, it is not a measure, it is a ID column for creators. Okay, so CID and creator ID is same, but in this it is the usage type for this one is measure. Now why usage type is important? So how to explain this? Okay, if you are not going to define the usage type, Cognos is going to create a aggregation on CID. So let me try to create a relationship first. So I'm going to click on this relation diagram tab or relation tab and then let's create a relationship. Okay, now based on the matching column, ID and ID is available in first name and last name. So that's why Cognos is smart enough to create a correct relationship, or not say correct relationship. Cognos is able to create a relationship between first name and last name. The only reason is this ID column and ID column is matching in both the table. But this CID and creator ID is not matching. So that's why Cognos is not able to understand how to create a relationship between first name and creators. So let's create this relationship manually. I'm going to first select CID and then I'm going to select creator ID and then finally right click and create relationship. Okay, I prefer this method to create relationship, but you have alternative. You can select right click and create relationship. In this method, you need to manually select the second table and then you need to manually select the column ID. So yep, we are not able to see the column ID. Why? Because it is a measure. Okay, normally for creating a relationship, you require an identity column. Okay, so let's first change it to ID and then mostly we are able to see CID here. So let me click on cancel. Let's select this. Under properties, we have option to make it as an identifier. So we have three different types of usage. We have three different usage type. The first one is the identifier. It is normally for IDs. Okay, primary keys, foreign keys, or you can define identifier to a date column. So this is date of birth. You can define it as an identifier. The next type is the attribute. It is normally your business dimensions or information about your row. Okay, so if I'm going to say first name for this first user, date of birth is the information for this user or detailed information for this user. So you can either convert this date of birth into identifier or attribute. Again, it is based on your best practice or any other methods which you are following. So let me change it to identifier date of birth. Normally I used ID. Normally I used identifier for date of birth and ID columns. For the rest of the text column, I normally used, it is identifier. No, this is wrong. So let me change it to attributes. Okay. So first thing, after importing anything, you need to select the columns and you need to define the correct usage type. Now I am a little bit lazy person and I try to find different shortcuts. Okay. So similarly, we have shortcut here. Select all the similar type of column and then change its usage type at the same time. Similarly, I'm going to select first name, last name, and right now for last name it is a different, so we can change it. So let me select creators and similarly voice by, and finally I'm going to select and let's change it to attribute. Next is the aggregate function. Again, aggregate function, based on the aggregate function, Cognos is going to create auto aggregation. Again, this is a different topic, auto aggregation, but for the time being, I think I'm done, and gender is I'm done. Now representation, again I'm going to cover everything in more details in our session in January 2019. For the time being, let me click on close. Let's create this creators and let's create a relationship between creator and creator ID. Right click and create a relationship. Okay, I'm going to select creator ID and CID. So now CID is visible. So let's select this option, match selected columns. Is going to create a relationship between our creator ID and CID. Now why I'm using CID here, this is just for demonstration purpose, how to create a relationship if the columns name are not matching. If you want to check the data, you can click on refresh. Inner join cardinality, again we are going to cover in January session. For the time being, I'm fine with this. Let me click on OK, and your data module is ready. Okay, we have proper relationship between all the tables. We can create a report using this data module. So simply click on save button to save it. So I'm going to click on save, and I'm going to create a personal content. I'm going to name it Jan 2019, and inside this I'm going to create a new directory and I'm going to name it data module, and finally I'm going to select my first data module. So apart from this, in this we have lots of things. We need to learn about expression, we need to learn about calculated columns, but we are going to cover it later. And if you are familiar with IBM Cognos 10 framework manager, then you maybe know the namespace concept, data layer or import layer, business layer or logic layer, presentation layer or report layer, or the fourth one is the dimension layer. The same way we can create different folders here, and we can show and hide the non-essential folders. Okay, but showing, hiding and all the folders later. Let's create a quick report using this data module. I'm going to click on this new option, or you can click on home button, go to home, and let me click on this report. So in report, we are going to first select the template. Okay, so this is a different level of templates. Now using Report Studio, we can create two types of report: normal reports and active reports. Active reports is, I can say, before learning active reports, you must need to know about Report Studio, because we are going to use the same concept in active reports. The only different is the create links. Okay, based on the links, you can check the dynamic changes in active reports. So first step, you must need to learn about Report Studio, and once you are comfortable with Report Studio, then we are able to use active reports. Okay, now here I'm not sure whether you're able to see this small checkbox. Okay, so this is the template for active report, and also you can see this active report suffix. But right now I don't want to use active report because the first step is to learn about normal reports. So let's click on this blank, and if you want to create, if you want to select any other template, feel free to select, but let me select blank and let me click on OK. In Cognos 10 environment, you are not able to launch Report Studio without selecting a FM package. Okay, but in Cognos 11, you are able to open Report Studio and then you are able to add a data source. Our data source is our newly created data module. So let me click on my content, and in this my content I'm to select Jan 2019, and then I'm to select data module, and this is our first data module. Click on, select this, open it, and this is your first data module. Now in data module you have option to create views. Okay, so right now here we are able to see 4 tables, but if you are going to create a report layer and if you are going to create a view, then you are only able to see a single column. So view and all those detailed information later, but let's use this to create our first report. So this is the user interface for Report Studio, and if in your organization you are using 11.0.13 and older, the UI is little bit different. Okay, and I like the UI for 11.1. It is a lot cleaner compared to older one. And again, if you are a Cognos 10 user, in Cognos 10 Report Studio we have 3 types of explorer. The same way here we have 3 different explorer. The first one is your report page explorer, second one is the query explorer, and the last one is the condition explorer. Name is changed, but the concept is the same. The first one is the report, and this is the first 1, 2, 3. This 3 belongs to report explorer. Next is your query explorer. So this queries folder belongs to query explorer. And the last one, variables, it is conditional explorer. Okay, and this classes belongs to your report page explorer. Now if you want to select any report page, you can click on this breadcrumb report, and then you can select the appropriate report page. Right now we have a single page, so we are only able to see or select the single page. Apart from this, we have queries explorer. Inside query explorer you are able to find all the queries, and then next we have condition explorer. Okay, so let me select report and let me select report page. Now I want to create a very simple list. It is very simple. Select your data source and then select first name, and what I want to do, I want to create a list with first name and last name. So let's select this first name and last name, drag and drop it. Okay, so let me select this, drag and drop it, and now you are able to see this visualization icon. Previously, if you are going to perform drag and drop in Cognos 10 environment, it is directly going to create a list, but this time it is asking for creating a visualization. So based on your data type, Cognos is going to suggest the best visualization. So let's select it. Now this process is going to first create a query for us. Inside query it is going to add the columns, and then it is going to create this visualization. I'm not happy with this. I want to create a list. So let's change it to list. So I'm going to select this one, and then I'm to select the first name last name list option. So your first list is created successfully. Alternate method to create is list. You need to select the toolbox, and then under toolbox you need to select list, drag and drop it, and then for this method you need to first define the list name. I'm going to say it's full name. So give me a moment. Yep, my laptop is now charging. So we are going to provide a list name. So I normally use prefix L for list, Q for query, V for variable, and so on. I normally use this naming. I like this naming culture. Okay, so L is the prefix for list name, and I'm going to name it, let's say, my full name. Okay, and similarly for query, I'm going to select full name. So let me click on OK. So this approach is going to first create a list, then it is going to create a query, and then we need to select the query explorer, report, queries explorer, and then we need to select the full name, double click on this, and then we need to add the data items, required data items. So this is the second approach, and I like this second approach. Okay, why? Because this is a lot cleaner way to create your list. So let me open my report page explorer. This is the first list. For this we have named list 1, but the second list we have a proper name for our list. Similarly, if I am going to open query explorer, so this is queries, and this is the previous query, and its name is query 1. Okay, and in future, if I'm going to share this report with any other team member is not able to identify the purpose for this query. Okay, so that's why it is very important to provide correct naming. So let me first click on, I don't want to delete it, but okay, ignore. So let's open your report page, select your list. Our query is ready. In our query we have data item. Select your data item, drag and drop it, and your list is ready. Okay, now let's select this and hit delete. If you are going to hit delete, it is automatically going to delete your query also. But if you want to move your list somewhere else, don't use delete operation. Instead of this, use Control X or cut operation. Oh, I'm not sure keyboard shortcut is going to work in Chrome. So let me try the UI way. Let me select this, cut. It is copied and our query is still there. Okay, so if you want to retain the queries, don't use destructive delete. You can use cut operation to remove your elements. In this approach, my element is removed, but query is already there. But this is the testing query, so I am fine with this. Let me delete it manually. So this is our first query, and in this first query we have 2 columns. Let's open this report page. So this is report page, and this is our first list. Now it's time to run it, and before run I want to save it. Now why I want to save it? Cognos 11 is not stable if you are going to compare it with Cognos 10. Okay, so it is a best practice to save it frequently. So I'm going to click on this floppy disk icon, and I'm going to save it inside our Gen 2019 folder, and I'm going to create a separate directory for all the reports. Okay, so this is done. Now let's run this. I think I did not save it. I saved it with the new report. Okay, ignore. So we are going to rename it later, but for the timing, let's run this, and we have all this option: HTML, PDF, Excel. I never use Excel data or CSV or XML, but most probably you are going to use this 3 option: HTML, PDF, and Excel. So Excel data is going to flush the data, and similarly for CSV it is going to flush the data. Okay, so let me click on run in HTML format. It is going to create a new tab, and inside new tab it is going to run your report. In Cognos 10 terms, it is IBM Cognos report viewer. Okay, but here we are able to see reporting tab, and I'm using a US analytics cloud, so it is little bit slow. So if you are using your intranet environment, then maybe it is fast, but right now I'm using a cloud version, so that's why it is little bit slow to display the data. So finally your first table or first report is created successfully with list. Now in this we skip lots of things. For example, we skip the left join, right auto join, and so on. Now how to create left auto join, right auto join, or full auto join, or cross join, we are going to cover in the January session. Now, before closing today's session, let me share a few more things, few new available features in IBM Cognos 11, which we are going to cover in 2019 training session, is the dashboard and stories. Okay, so dashboard is the new feature available in IBM Cognos 11, and I think I don't like the dashboard. You can achieve the same scenario in Report Studio also. But as per my understanding, dashboard is for maybe business user, and for report studio, report user is for more, or you can say development team. So let me open this. Let me close this viewer, and then we have option this. Click on this plus icon, and then we have option for dashboard. And one more thing, this exploration is available in Cognos 11.1, and most it is also available in 11.0.13. I'm not sure for 11.0.13, and I still need to explore this, but if possible, I'm going to cover this exploration in January session. Okay, so for the timing, ignore it. We selected the dashboard. Similarly, like report, we have this option. We can select different layouts. Okay, and here we have two options. The first one is the tabbed, or second one is the infographic. So let's select the tab for the timing, and let me select this tab layout. Let me click on OK. And this is the UI for your dashboard. Similarly, you need to click on this plus icon to add a data source. And after adding the data source, you can add different elements, but like report studio, it is not powerful enough. Okay, so if I'm going to add first name and last name, let's see. Let's see what Cognos is going to create for us using this. Okay, so definitely this one is not the correct UI for this data set. So let's see how to change it. So this is the floating toolbar, and under this floating toolbar we have I think this option to change the visualization. So you can change it. And then I'm going to select, I'm not sure table is good or list. Okay, so this is table, and let's see what we have. Cross tab, we have list. So let's try this one. Okay, so it's a list, it's not Cognos list. So definitely we need to select the table. So let me select this, and then we are going to select this, and let me click on table one more time. Okay, so dashboard is only for displaying KPIs. Okay, so let's say you want to create a starting point for your analysis. You can create a dashboard and you can share it with your clients. After this, client is going to perform a drill through. So right now drill through, we are going to define drill through later, but let's say you created a drill through, then you are going to react on the detailed reports for IBM Cognos. So dashboard is just a starting point for your analysis. Add KPIs such as summary column, some KPI widgets with green, red, yellow flags. You can add all those on dashboard, and in your report you can use the power of Report Studio to create a detailed summary for your all analysis. So this is about dashboard. And the last thing, of course we need to cover lots of things, and this 1 hour time is not more than enough to cover all these things. So that's why we are conducting a complete session, complete IBM Cognos Analytics 11 session in January 2019, and we are going to use the latest available version. So I'm using IBM Cognos 11 Premium, and the Premium, and we are using clouds. So definitely always we are going to get the latest version for IBM Cognos Analytics. Now what is the difference between Premium and trial? In Premium, your content is never going to be lost. So my content, so previously I used 11.0.2L in this trial, and all my report in this trial is gone after the migration from 12 to 1. Most really, as per their document or website, your content from this is never going to be lost. So this is the one, and another benefit, we can create a data source connection using database servers. So this is a brief about IBM Cognos Analytics. Let me show story. And story is like your PowerPoint presentation. You can create a PowerPoint presentation in IBM Cognos Analytics environment, and you can share it with your clients. So this is different UI or templates. You can create it, and then you can add different visualization to share your analysis or important messages. So this is a brief about IBM Cognos Analytics, and before closing, if you want to ask any question for session on January 2019, you can use the comment box to ask your questions. So yes, I'm waiting for your replies. You can use comment box for replying. Okay, so what is the purpose of IBM Cognos Analytics? Cognos Analytics is a business intelligence tool, and it is used for creating reports. So what is the different report studio and analytics? So right now in IBM Cognos Analytics, I'm only able to see a report studio. Using report studio, you are able to create report or active report. Apart from this, you are able to create dashboard and stories. So dashboard and story is only for brief information, or if you want to display your KPIs or very summary related information for your business data, then you are able to use dashboard and story. For creating detailed analysis with graph, chart, and with various functionalities such as drill through, prompts, you need to use Report Studio. So I hope I answered your query. So let me know still you want to know anything else. Any other one? Want to ask any question? Any other members want to ask any other questions regarding their current environment and about migration? So yeah, migration is a very hot topic, and if you want to migrate your Cognos 10 report in Cognos 11 environment, you can use it. Okay, you can migrate your Cognos 10 report inside Cognos 11, but if you are using JavaScript, you are using a lot of JavaScript, then you must need to re-edit your reports, because in IBM Cognos Analytics environment, JavaScript syntax is changed. If you want to implement JavaScript, you need to implement it different way. Previously in Cognos 10 environment, we need to simply add a HTML element. So let me find it. And this one is good integration, fine for your elements. It is not available previously in Cognos 10. So if I'm going to double click on HTML item, then I can add a simple script I can add a simple JavaScript script tag, and then inside this I can add a simple JavaScript code. But if you are going to migrate this script code inside 11, you need to modify your JavaScript. Before modification, you are not able to easily migrate your Cognos 10 report into Cognos 11 environment. Apart from this, yes, definitely you need to change lots of things, like for example source, package. If package name or source name is changed, then definitely you need to change all those also. So this is a brief about migration. Any other question? I'm still waiting for the questions. And if you have any specific requirement or specific scenarios, you can drop me a mail. I can provide the solution for your specific scenarios. For example, let's say you want to use something unique with your JavaScript code or anything else, I can share the solution for you. For the new members, again, I want to share this contact information. This is my email address, and let me share my alternate email address also. So let me add this toolbox, and I'm going to add a text item. So you can contact me on this email address for Cognos trainings. So we have a common group training session in January 2019, and if you want a private session, you can drop me a mail. So you can either use info@mayank.guru or you can use info@mayanksangvi.com to communicate with me. And for the premium members who is going to join the training session is able to use my mobile number. Okay, if you want to inquiry about, if you want to need to know more about this training session, you can also call me on this number, or you can drop me a message on WhatsApp. Okay, so before closing, let me share something more. So let me see is anything is available here. Product sales by country, product sales by country, product repeater, cross type. So we are almost going to cover all those things. We are going to learn about cascading prompts. We are going to learn about repeaters. We are going to create groups. So let me see. This is cross type report. So let me run it. Run this. And I want to run it in HTML format. I don't want to run it in background. Yep, prompt me. So our report is running. So this is an example with cross type report, and in this we have different summary on our country level, and I'm not sure why I added this, but mostly this is total. So let me check in the bottom. No, this is not, definitely this is, oh, so here I'm using average, and this is I think total, so that's why it is different mostly. And this is the go back button. If you want to go back on prompt page, you can use this go back button, or maybe on this I implemented something. So let's see, let's try it, where we are going to redirect. So mostly this is go back is to open prompt page if we have any, but mostly, oh, okay. So this is country sale, and after clicking, so the go back button is a drill through. So country sale is our primary report, and if we are going to click on any of this country, we are going to redirect on the child report or detail report. So go back button functionality is to go back on your primary report. And on the left we have maps. To use map, either you need to use region column or you need to use latitude and longitude. And I have another plan live session on 27th for data module. In that session we are going to cover lots of things about data module. So if you want to join that session, feel free to join the data module session. And we are going to close this session around 11. So if you want to ask any other queries, feel free to ask your queries. So today is Christmas. So what's your plan for Christmas? Let me know. if you want to share your planning for Christmas. And let me share some more thing. Let's share the cascading prompt. So let me click on home, and I think cascading prompt is available in product by country. So let me open this report and run this, run as in HTML format. So what is the use of cascading prompt? So I think most of the time at the registration form you saw options such as select country, and based on the country you are able to select the state. The similar option is available here in Cognos or cascading prompt. You can first select the category, and based on the category you are able to see the specific product. So right now I'm able to see everything because right now select all is selected, and based on the select all I'm able to see all the products in this category. If I'm going to select any specific category, so let me select seafood, and based on the seafood category our report is refreshed and we are only able to see seafood products available in seafood category. Okay, so this is the cascading prompt. Now on the right, this show and hide list, this is the demonstration for render variable. So right now show list is selected by default, and if I'm to select the hide list, this list is going to be hidden. So this is the implementation of render variable. So we need to cover lots of things, and we are going to cover this in our January 2019 session. So don't forget to join the January 2019 session. How to join it, I'm going to share this details if you are going to drop me a mail. Apart from this, we are going to use Google Meeting. No advertisement, it is for you. So we are going to use Google Meet for conducting all the sessions. So you need to simply join the Google Meeting, and if you have the request you are able to access this meeting. This meeting URL is different. So let me click on join meeting. Okay, so most probably you're not able to see it. So most probably you're not able to see this, so sorry for that. So today's I'm still facing lots of issue with my streaming software, and I'm going to fix it in further session, and in our future session we are going to use Google Meet for conducting the session. So this is the Google Meeting. You need to simply click on join meeting, and if you have the request you are able to join it. So this is the Google Meet UI, and here you can see all the participants, and in this you can communicate with me. So our January 2019 session we are going to use Google Meet. So before closing, if you have any doubts, please use comment section, else you can drop me an email on my email ID. So this is my email, info@mayang.guru and info@mayangsanghvi.com. So drop me a mail for further communication, and I'm waiting 5 more minutes to answer your queries. I'm waiting 5 more minutes to answer all your queries. For Framework Manager, we are going to use IBM Cognos Framework Manager version 11. And in Framework Manager, we are going to cover all those concepts, layer concept. We are going to learn about cardinality. We are going to learn about joins. We are going to learn about object level security. We are going to learn about data level security. We are going to learn about how to create a package, how to validate a package. Apart from this, we have lots of things like determinants, dimensions, hierarchies. So all those data level securities, object level securities, hierarchies and dimension is not available in case of data module. Okay, so data module is a good way to create your reports, but if you have hierarchies in your data, then you're not able to use it in data module. So yep, I'm still waiting for 2 to 3 more minutes to answer your queries if any. If not, I'm going to close today's session. So thanks for joining and see you on January 2019 for IBM Cognos Analytics training session. Closing for now and see you on January 2019, and date is 7th of January and still from 7th of January till 25th of January. For more details, you can drop me a mail and this is my contact information. So thanks for joining today's session. Thanks for today's live session and thank you.